Alright, welcome to the second video of this timing and scoring spreadsheet course. So far in video 1, you realize that filling up the roster and populating the roster is going to be the biggest job in this task of running and organizing a race. So we talked in the last video about adding the names or having other people add the names of the different competitors and athletes. We mentioned that you do not want to change the order of these numbers that are assigned to each athlete, so keep those in ascending order. We mentioned that the school name, race, those can be altered and changed. You can use those for different categories if you want to, different headings, and you can assign those ahead of time or do that on the day of the race. And then we mentioned that gender here, you want male, female, M and F, and the spreadsheet, the timing spreadsheet is going to be looking for this information when you are timing the race and doing the calculations, as you'll see now in the rest of this video. So the rest of this video we're going to concentrate on the other tabs that are down here in the spreadsheet. I have titled this V results and JV results just because we used it for our varsity and our JV competitors. And I'm going to go ahead and clear some of the cells here that you would be filling in. You can see that all the colored cells, the blue, light blue, and the pink, you'll notice that those are all the areas that you're going to be entering data. All the other cells are going to have formulas in them, and you don't have to worry about those. In fact, you don't want to mess those up at all. You want to keep those from any type of data entry. So this is where you would start, kind of with a blank spreadsheet. This is the timing portion of the spreadsheet. And as I mentioned, the blue cell here and the pink cell, that's where you're going to be entering some characters, as well here in the column for the bib number, the yellow cells. So I have colored the cells where anything is going to be entered. Everything else, leave it alone. Here's how this operates. You have all of your information in your roster, you're ready to start the race, and you're going to be pulling up this particular sheet when you're ready to begin the race. Here I have up here, it says start of the varsity boys, start of the varsity girls. Again, if you're having different types of races besides high school varsity boys and girls, you can entitle those anything you want to. In order to start the race, you need to start the timer, or you need to get a timestamp at the beginning of the race. And that's what the blue and pink cells are for. In order to accomplish that, you're going to type in any character into the blue and pink cells in order to start the respective boys and girls races. Any character can go in there. So if I type in an A, as soon as I hit return, it is going to timestamp the beginning of that race. So your gun goes off, whoever's operating this spreadsheet is just going to type in any character right here and hit return, and you have now placed a timestamp at the beginning of this race. You can do it now for the girls' race as well, or your second race. You don't even have to wait until the first race is done, because your gender over here, when you type in your M and your F, you are going to be finding and distinguishing the difference between the boys and the girls' races here. So you don't have to wait until one race is over to start the next race. So if you want to start the girls' race even 10 minutes after the boys take off, or vice versa, you're going to type in any character here, and as soon as the gun goes off, hit return or enter, and you've now time-stamped the beginning of the second race. As the race is going on, this is going to be, it's not a running clock per se. When the runners come across the finish line, you're going to enter a character here in column C, the yellow cells, and it's going to make a new timestamp, and then it'll calculate the elapsed time by looking at the beginning timestamp and the ending timestamp. Okay? But don't change any of the cells that are not color-coded. You're just going to, as runners begin to come across the finish line, you can have either somebody telling you what their bib number is or their assigned number. So as they come across, runner number 2. And as soon as you enter that number and hit return, it is going to timestamp that, and it's going to take the final timestamp and the beginning timestamp and find the difference, and that is the elapsed time, the time for that runner. It's going to look up their name from the roster because you've assigned them that particular number, and it's going to look up the group that you assigned them to or the school they're from, the race that they're running, and their gender. And it's going to give them a place. You can continue to do that. Runner number 23 is coming. I see them approaching. I type it in, and as soon as they cross the finish line, enter. And it's going to immediately give you the results of that runner's race and place them. I can continue to do that. Here comes runner number 34. Done. Here comes runner number 36, and then crosses the finish line. I hit enter. Done. Now you'll notice here I have 2 guys that came across and then 2 girls. I did that purposely just to show you that it's going to differentiate between male and female for you automatically. So you see here's the first guy that came across, here's the second guy that came across, now here's the first girl. That's why it's given her place value of 1 and place value of 2 here. Okay? Now this is a little bit cumbersome in that it might be difficult to be entering these bib numbers as runners come across, especially if they're coming across close together, and it's hard to see the number on their bib or on their arm and then enter that number and hit return all at the same time. So what I do instead is I am simply going to get some assistance from somebody else who is going to be collecting the numbers of the runners, the bib numbers, the assigned numbers as they come across the finish line. And they're going to be writing them down, or better yet, entering them into the computer. So runner number 5 comes across first. They're going to write that down or put it into a spreadsheet. All I need to do is just get a timestamp. So I can enter any character. Again, I'm going to use A. I see a runner coming, A, return. Another one comes, A, return, A, return, A, return, A, return, A, return. There's a little bit of a gap between runners, A, return, A, return. 3 more come really quick, A, return, A, return, A, return. And I can do that immediately. All I need is the timestamp. Then, when the race is over, my assistant, whoever has been collecting the numbers, and they're writing them down in order or putting them into a computer in order, they're going to bring me those numbers, and I can simply copy and paste those right here very quickly, and I'm done. I have all of the runners that have just run the race, all their bib numbers entered, and as soon as I just copy and paste those in the correct order, I have all the timestamps, the elapsed times, their name, the school that they're from, or the group that they're associated with, and whether they're male and female. And the wonderful part is you have already the place values right here for you. Okay? So you've got all the place values, and it is going to differentiate between male and female. Instant results, near instant results, all done. Everything is finished for you, and you can start to share this information with the competitors immediately after they're finished. You can, if you'd like to, you can use the heading columns, or the headers up here, in order to sort these. So if you want to just find the results for school number 1, group number 1, you can do that. If you want to just find the results for male or female, you can do that. If you want to look for a particular athlete, you can do that as well. If you want to sort these by place here, sort ascending, it's already going to do that for you, but maybe you don't care about male and female and you just want to sort them ascending and just put them all in one group. It's going to have like a 1, 1, a 2, 2, a 3, 3, but you could easily figure that out and figure out who came in first, etc. Okay? So right here, this is a lot of information that you could use immediately right after the race is done and share those results with the competitors, with coaches, with parents, whoever is interested in their immediate results. And this is going to accommodate as many runners as you need, up to, I think there's 500 different rows there. There's a tab down here for, as I mentioned, V results. That was for our varsity races. And here's one for the JV. So you could also have easily somebody operating maybe this same program on a different computer, and it can be doing the JV results. Or you can have the same person doing it. You'd have to wait maybe till the varsity races are all done and then start the JV races. But again, the boys and girls, you don't have to wait till the boys are done to start the girls. But this is on a separate tab, so what you could do is you could have somebody running the same spreadsheet on a different computer, and you could run your varsity boys, and then you could run the varsity girls, and then you could run the JV boys and the JV girls soon after that. You might want to have them go down a different chute, for example, okay, a different place where you're collecting the numbers. You don't want to mix the varsity and the JV, so that's a little bit confusing. So you might want them to maybe finish someplace else, or maybe best just wait till the varsity race is done. But here's the same thing. I just give you another tab, another sheet, in order to do exactly the same thing, so that you can keep track of all the results on these two sheets. And then you just enter the bib numbers. Again, by just entering the bib number here, you are determining that that person, that particular athlete right here, is a JV runner or is in a different group. Okay? But it's going to operate exactly the same way as the varsity results. I just provide two different sheets there for you. Alright, I hope that is helpful. I hope you see how powerful this is. Once you've got all the roster finished, once you've got all this information in here, it is a cinch. It is simple to run this, and it's quick, it's easy, it's efficient, it's powerful, gives you all the results you need, and it actually is very, very simple to operate. You're not going to run into any problems, and the results you can share almost immediately with anybody that is interested. In the next video, we're going to look at this final tab here, which is if you're running a cross-country dual meet, you can show the results between Team 1 and Team 2, and it'll immediately show you who won between those two teams. It'll calculate it according to the top runners, and will show you then who gets the most points. Actually, it's the least points in cross country. You want the fewest points, but it's going to show you the winner here, and that is going to be given to you for the varsity girls, JV girls, as well as the varsity boys and the JV boys. Okay, so stay tuned, and we'll come back with the third video in this course. We'll talk about the final scores. I'll see you there.